In today's video, I want to give those of you who are looking for perhaps a place to rent. Maybe you've been here, maybe you haven't been, but you just want to check out the possibilities in Armenia. I want to give you an idea of the barrios where you should be looking. In some cases, the ads won't mention the barrio, but in others they do. If the ad says North Armenia, you're probably pretty safe in continuing your search in that area. North Armenia is where you want to be living. My name is William Hutchison. Along with my wife, I own Armenia Colombia Realty for Expats. Our firm focuses on expats solely. Our mission is to see that expats get a rental or, in the future, a purchase at the best possible price, avoiding the gringo effect. It's common knowledge in Colombia that there's two prices, one for Colombians, one for gringos. Some of you may not know the word barrio, but it's really just a neighborhood. You could relate it maybe in New York City to Harlem, Queens, Brooklyn. Those could be called barrios. Armenia has about, I think right now it's about 35 barrios, and I would only want to see expats in 3 or 4 of those. I've touched on the various barrios in previous videos, but I want to go a little bit more in depth as to the pros and cons of each. Explaining barrio may lead to the question, why do you have a Spirit airplane in your thumbnail? And we're going to get to that during the video. I have a request. Please stay tuned until the end. I need some help. It's not financial. I live very well on my pension, as I have told you through all of these videos, but I'm starting to run out of ideas to cover. I'm specialized, focused on Armenia, and the material is starting to get a little slim. You may have noticed I don't ask people to subscribe, ring the notification bell. Those things are of no interest to me. I'm not looking to get the channel monetized. I'm trying to get information out there to people that might want to move to Armenia, and I am happy to do so. Before I get into the various barrios, I want you to understand that Armenia is in a high seismic risk area. It's not unusual to feel a tremor here. I haven't felt one for perhaps 3 or 4 months, but there can be years where you feel half a dozen. It's not unusual to feel a couple a month, and then you go for 4 months and don't feel another one. But it is a high seismic risk area. In 1999, there was a serious earthquake here. It took out a lot of the downtown core, substandard construction, and killed over 1,000 people. The number is still not determined 23 years later. The construction protocols now are updated. Every building here has to be earthquake resistant. There's no such thing as earthquake proof, but the construction standards are pretty high. The only thing that concerns me with that, and I'm not suggesting there's anything nefarious going on, but there is no formal city inspection that I know of the buildings as they're built. They are the quality of the construction is controlled by structural engineers, all qualified in their profession. But the issue that I have with it is that the engineers are paid by the builder of the high rise or any other building. So there's a huge potential there for a conflict of interest. I'll just leave it at that. I want to start first with the best barrio and the reason for the airplane. The best barrios are at the airport. And as an aside, Spirit, if you haven't seen some of the other videos, flies direct here from Fort Lauderdale, bypassing the terminal change in airport in Bogota. And if you don't have Spanish, that can be difficult. So keep that in mind. If you can get to Fort Lauderdale, you can be here in just a little over 3 hours on Spirit. They come in 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and go back 45 minutes later or an hour later. The best barrios are at the airport. There's not a lot of rentals out there. I have one now that would rent for, at today's exchange rate, about $1,500 a month. It's not a property that many Colombians can afford. It would be more affordable in a big city like Bogota, Medellin, or Cali. But in Armenia, there just aren't a lot of jobs that can pay enough to give people the ability to make that kind of a monthly rental payment. Purchases out there start around $325,000. That gets, in some cases, a 3 or 4 bedroom, 3 bath, modern design, lots of glass, natural light flooding the inside of the window, and a pool. You'd be in a gated community. The gated communities out there are usually on very large lots, at least a couple thousand meters. So the entry road going in is almost like a country lane. The properties are beautifully maintained. Maintenance is low. The condo fees, it's very unusual here to have a condo fee anywhere over $100 a month. So that area would be good if you have the financial ability to purchase. The lifestyle is very tranquil, very safe, 24-hour human security at the gate. And the property will hold its value. The area is a little warmer because as you come north in Armenia through the city center and so on, the elevation increases, so it does get cooler. The difference between the airport, when the airport's 83, 84, which it is most days, north of the city where I live is high 70s, maybe gets to 80. Second best barrio, the best barrio in the city itself, because the airport is perhaps 5 kilometers from the south end of the city, is Castellana. Castellana is totally residential. There's no commercial. But even with that being the best barrio, it still has a fringe area that borders on the main 4-lane north-south road in the city, heavy traffic. So you can have an apartment there where you have bus noise, truck noise, street noise all day long. Sometimes the street noise goes in to the early morning. And even though it's the best barrio, that's not the best place to live. But there's no commercial traffic through the barrio otherwise. And if you get into the what I would say is the back end, then it's a nice place to live. Rentals there are fairly reasonable. You should be able to get a 3-bedroom condo. They're mostly condos there, high-rise condos. A 3-bedroom condo would run about $425 a month, and a purchase would run about $150,000. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, maybe 1,500 square feet. It could have a view, large balcony, that type of arrangement. The barrio that I would like to see expats in is just a half a notch or so below Castellana, called Laureles. Laureles is a little more commercial, but it's commercial property, a commercial area that most expats would like because you can walk anywhere. The main plaza is 3 blocks. It's huge, huge grocery store, 3 floors. It's very similar to any plaza that you would see, shopping mall in the United States or Canada. Very, very clean. A very good variety of shops. That barrio is conducive to people here without a car. It has a lot of small little cafes and restaurants. You can go in the morning, breakfast, $2, $2.50. If you want to go read, there's areas in some of the cafes where you can just sit in a quiet corner. It's just a nice, friendly, very convenient barrio for people coming here to rent, to check out Armenia, to see if it's a place where you want to live. Now, there's other barrios, and I'm just going to mention them, that you can consider too. For example, there's Fundadores. Fundadores is at the south fringe of where I'd want to see expats live. It's a highly medical area, so during the day it's very, very busy. It's convenient if you have health issues and you need to get to doctors on a fairly regular basis. The issue, though, is that from Fundadores or Castellana to the medical center wouldn't cost more than $1.50 with a taxi. So the question that I would have for most people is, if the taxi is so inexpensive, why do you want to live in all of that commotion? Centenario is an area, again, it's a 4-lane north-south highway, but there's some nice developments, maybe 100 meters off the road. It would be quiet. The views there would be fantastic. And the rentals, as in Fundadores, a month would be perhaps $375. You might get something for $350. The issue I have with Centenario is most of the new construction, and it's all new over there, is very small apartments. They're 3-bedroom, but other than the principal, bedrooms 2 and 3, you put a single bed in, and you may not be able to walk completely around the bed. 65 square meters would be a large condo over there. There's a couple of other barrios on the fringe, Providencia, Profesionales. They have nice buildings. The area is not, I think it's safe, but it's not a nice looking area. There's high-rise buildings that are nice, pools, security, some have gyms, saunas, and so on. But the mix is not something that's pleasing to the eye. I'm going to leave you with a comment before my request. If there's properties that you see that you want an opinion on, get a hold of me. You can leave something in the comment section. My telephone number is there on the thumbnail. There's ways to reach me. Do that. You can reach me through the my webpage as well. I am happy to give you my opinion. I'm not going to go look at the apartment and see if the photos match what is physically there. I'm not going to do that. but I will give you my opinion of the building. I know most of the buildings, and I know the area. One thing you have to keep in mind, you should be planning out to give some time to find an apartment. But I'll make two comments. Number one, the good apartments go quickly. There's a real demand for rentals in Armenia, much more demand than there is for sales. The second thing is the administration on the websites is not always up to date. So it's often an apartment will show that it's been for rent for 9 months and it was rented 8 months ago. And the administration not being up to date, it looks like it's still active when it's not. My request, I would like you to make some suggestions about material, things you want to see covered. Don't be shy, because I'm getting kind of slim on what I can produce for you after doing 20 videos in less than a month. I'm not looking for money. Don't misunderstand me. As I've been telling you for that month, you live very well on your pension here, and I do. I'm not looking for the notification bell being rung, or subscribers. To be honest, I could care less. If I have subscribers, I'm very happy to have them. But you'll never hear me asking you to support my channel financially. I just don't care. So if you could come up with some ideas for me, that will be my financial payoff, where I can provide other information that maybe I haven't thought about. I'm not looking on this channel to be monetized or to have any sort of income. I'm looking more to help you people out, and my payoff would be through my real estate company that would never cost you any money, because either the renter or the seller pays my fee. Brings me to the end of this video. Please help me out, because I'm getting thin on things that I can talk to you about. And if there's anything that I haven't covered or that you want me to go into more depth on, I'm happy to do that, but I have to know what you want to see. Okay? I hope you have a good day. I'm going to. I live in paradise. You can too.